interest yet. Now it doesn't seem like people care as much. Do you think the interest is fading for Kim and Croy?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Croy has doubled down saying, like, she's crazy and dangerous. Here's my thing, couple of things. Whatever you got paid for Surreal Life, let's just say 250,000. I'm just going to throw that out there. What are you doing with that money? I want to know, hey, 100, 250,000. What is that? Like 135, let's say 140 after taxes. So, girl, you got to set aside this portion for taxes. Tax man is coming. You have $140,000 now. If I were Kim, this is where like these people make no sense to me. You have to now prioritize. Now, do you owe taxes? Yes, I would take the whole 140 and go right there. But like, let's look at the debts. The girl, pay off some of the debts now. I'm just trying to help Kim. I have no interest really. I just think it's like it's so. I don't know. I'm sorry. Should I be more positive?
No, I mean, I just think she's a person now. I don't have any empathy for any of them. Croy, the house is headed back to foreclosure. Croy wants to sell it because it's valued somewhere around $3 million, which apparently would pay off a big chunk of their debt. Sounds like Kim's fighting that. Why Kim is fighting? I mean, Kim's just such not a likable person. And I think 10 years ago when we first saw her, I mean, she was likable. She was kind of represented this like white trash character that, everybody knew, right? Like either you had a family member like Kim that was like money hungry, hooking up with a big daddy. I mean, it was realer. Now it's just so fake. And she comes on her social media and how much money she still has. And everybody knows, again, she's another one, not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but we still pretend like, we still front like it's like, I don't have any interest either. Like if we never even talked about them again, I'd be fine. Like I don't even find anything interesting.
And honestly, like there are houses I'm sure in Atlanta worth $875,000 that are probably nice. I'm sure there are houses for $740,000 that are nice. Even 1 million. Like, but why are we in a $3 million house? Right? Like this house should have been sold 10 years ago.
Years
but
ago,
right.
yeah.
Like you have something now, mind you, God only knows what the damn mortgage is on it. You'll probably end up with nothing. But this is why I just don't have sympathy. And yeah. What else you got?
Okay, we have let's hit some other quick things that we
What I could throw out?
Throw it out.
I could throw out BravoCon coming up. The first Lifetime Achievement Award in history is going to listen. This is Vicki's life. And I say this again, I'm not being a troll. I say this. She was on the show. She got fired. She had a complete breakdown. Could not believe at the reunion when they brought her out just for her segment. Disgusted that she created this show. She was off the show. She had a podcast. I went on the podcast. Everyone should listen to me on Vicki's podcast. I was counseling her on the damn podcast about the 5 stages of grief and getting over the fact that she was fired and that it was okay. She never recovered. Now she's back as a friend of. There is a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk that Vicki might be coming back full time to
I could see
Housewives. And she's getting the first Lifetime Achievement Award. So you know what, Miss Victoria Gunvalson, this is your life. This really matters to you. And I am not being a troll. Like I am not being sarcastic. Like good for Vicki. Good for her. Okay. Like just great. Like what a coming back moment, right? Like you're back on the show. You might be full time. You took the friend role. You put on your big girl pants and put your dignity away. And now to get the first Lifetime Achievement Award, I mean, there's going to be a standing ovation. I mean, she's going to make a speech, right? What a moment for Victoria. Really?
She's played it well. I mean, she's played it well. And I do find that interesting. Don't you find it interesting who, I don't know, who's knocked down and gets back up, or who Bravo resurrects, who they don't? Like, for example, like your friend Ebony, right? I don't know. It's just interesting, like I don't know who they pick. And maybe because Vicki, has this longevity, but I mean, even like Kelly Dodd we'll never see again, probably. Never. Like you said, Kim Zolciak, maybe we'll see on a girls trip, but you'll probably never see again on RHOA. I mean, it's interesting who they'll keep at and then who they'll like never.
And sometimes it comes out of nowhere. I mean, listen.
Right.
That Taylor Armstrong, She needed a
I
drink of
know.
water. She needed a drink of water for a lot of years. She wanted that water. There was a little bit of a thirst. She needed some water to quench the thirst. And then they throw her on the girls' trip, and now she's the first one to change
Mhm.
franchises. So it's like, yeah, it is. Listen, I think, yeah, to your point, it is interesting. Well, you know, it is. I think when you just get too sloppy, like Nene, never. Bethany,
No,
never.
right.
Kelly Dodd, no, I'm sorry. It's too much with Drunk Highest. I don't have a problem with the hat and all this other stuff. For the network, no. Carol Razawell, I'm granted, Carol doesn't want it, but it doesn't matter. You're going to be too difficult. And when you, hi, Carol, the patriarchy, click. I mean, that's how it goes, you know.
Adrian.
Think about it. Think about it. It's like if you think about, well, that's what she would say if she got the call. Think about it. It's like you and me are the equivalent of Bravo. We are running a network. I am running a network here. You are running a network. People are like, why don't you have this one on to cover this show? Guys, this idea of yours, let me tell you what that would be every week. Oh, I don't have the time. So it's like, that's
Yeah.
how it is. You don't want it too messy. You don't want it too sloppy, and you don't want it too high maintenance. It doesn't mean they're not great TV or a great person. So yeah, I think the key is like Vicki never really, she said a few things, but she never went dark. She never went there. Same with Tamara. That's why she's like, same all those years with Taylor. Same with the Housewives of RHOM. They tried for 10 years. So I think the key, you're right though, Sarah. It's very interesting who we bring back and resurrect. I mean, Phaedra's now girls trip to another girls trip to now she's on Married to the Medicine. I mean, I don't know about you, girl, but I haven't been excited about Married to Medicine in years. And I've had a lot of them on, with all due respect. I'm going to be watching Miss Phaedra Parks on Married to Medicine. Hell yes.
I know it is fascinating. So I don't know if you can, you think Lisa Renna, it'll be, maybe they'll bring Renna back in years, but will the show still be on then? I don't know. I mean,
I don't think the door is closed for Renna. I really don't.
no, I don't think so either. I think you're right. Renna could definitely be back in the next couple of years. I know you do a lot of this on your Patreon, but New Jersey, Joe Gorga has become an ordained minister. Drita from Mob Wives is coming after Monica on Real Housewives of Salt Lake, saying she's a rat,
You're right.
for ratting
Guess
out
what?
John.
Tomorrow on Patreon,
Yeah,
I
what?
have a lot. I'm going to be spilling a lot of tea on Jersey. I'm going to be doing a lot of Jersey on the Patreon. I've decided.
Okay, should.
Joe married his two, Melissa's cousin,
Cousins?
which is his cousin. Yes, we had a gay wedding in the Gorga family. Good for Joe. He also just taught his son the meaning of life. Joe has not blocked me, even though Melissa has. They were on the way to buy the kid Gino a gold necklace for, I forgot which birthday. And I guess there was a problem at one of the job sites. They said emergency. Joe Gorga pulled over the car, put Gino to work, filmed the whole thing, because that's what we do during an emergency, and said, look at, I'm teaching my boy the power of hard work before I go and buy him the gold diamond chain that he wants for his birthday. Okay. Then he showed them buying the chain.
All
Yeah,
right.
Drita said Monica's a rat. Drita has woken up from Mob Wives and she wants nothing to do with Mob Wives, but she's very upset with Monica that Monica's a rat. She ratted out Jen Shaw, and so she had a million rat emojis.
Paris.
Come on the podcast, Drita. You know I want you. I had Renee and I had Karen. I want you, girl.
Renee Graziano's been on my show too. She's a good interview.
I love
Yeah,
Miss
she's a good
Renee.
interview.
What else do we have? I mean, have we
I feel like
covered
it's
everything?
a wrap. We've covered a lot. Oh my God, we've covered every franchise.
I know you guys want us to go on forever, but there's only so much David and Sarah you can buy. We're going to say Waterboy for 15% off with code VELVET. It does help your hangover. And I think we're going to say the Sarah Fraser Show in back of her for everyone watching on YouTube. She's
Go to
got a pillow.
Amazon.
She's got all this stuff. She has an Amazon store. God, are you becoming too big for me, Miss Fraser?
Never, never. People love our collabs. I love our collabs. No, and I've learned so much from them. I've learned from the best, honey.
Our collabs are not going to stop anytime soon, people.
Oh,
And guess what? So,
no.
all the noise, you can keep it. When she goes on her maternity leave, when she gets pregnant, she's going to give us 9 months notice. And then Sarah will be on a maternity leave for a month, she tells me.
A month and a half. You need to be
Oh,
ready for
God.
6 weeks.
Guess what?
You
Guess
need to
what?
plan.
Guess what we're going to do? I'll tell you right now what the plan is. We're going to have a very special guest when you're gone. The one, the only David Yontef, just David. All the greats do solo shows, all of them.
They do 100%.
People in our business that do a solo show. I'm going to be explaining on Patreon why I might be bringing the solo show back. But we also have Melissa Rivers. We have Rachel Yucatel. We have Catherine Edwards. We have Carlos Tink. We have so many people we can pull from. And we have a lot of mystery people. But I think it's good at that. But Sarah, give us 9 months notice, please.
I will, honey. You know it. You know it. All right, David, at the Sarah Fraser Show.
Love you much. You're a superstar. You are a superstar, girl.
You are. I'm obsessed with you. I love you. I love that we just like agree to disagree at times, that we have similar thoughts. It's just so great. And I love our audience. Like, people slide in our DMs. I feel like the positivity way outweighs the negative. Yes, we have some haters, but anyone good has haters. Okay.
I mean, you haven't made it, girl. If all your reviews are 5 stars and on all that, guess what? Your 3 friends are listening and they just keep leaving the same review. Think about that as we sign off.
Not ours. Check out our reviews, okay? And they really vary from 1 star to, if I could give this podcast 0 stars, I will, to